now. It's time for the buzz this morning, and recently the US Navy made history by launching an unmanned plane from an aircraft, and it's called the X-47B and looks a lot like the Bat plane. But that's why I'm so excited this morning, because we are talking about drones, which are becoming ever increasing, and it's becoming more and more popular as we go along, as we further our technological era, Grant. And I think this is something that I'm, as I said, very, very exciting about, because it's making big waves.
It's something that a lot of people are excited about and also very skeptical and have a lot of cynicism towards it. For those who don't know, the idea of an unmanned drone or a UAV is that it doesn't have a pilot, it is remote controlled. You can either, there are lots of different kinds, the popular ones that you see that were in the Iraqi war, these handheld guys that are thrown into the sky, and they can be used for surveillance, they can be used for a multitude of different things. But obviously the technology is improving, and the distance between the damages that they can cause or the good that they can cause is nearly worrying to some degree.
Yes, no, that obviously is one of the big questions as we go along, like the X-47B. Are these drones a good thing or a bad thing? What is your opinion on it?
Well, I think with all technology, we were getting to the stage where technology in itself is not a bad thing.
Yes.
And we need to embrace it. Nikola Tesla predicted that we'd have unmanned planes, and he predicted this in 1915.
Wow.
So that was it's like nearly 100 years ago that this was predicted to come into existence.
Look at that. I mean, that is just the size of one of these drones. I mean, it's massive. They range from toys to something huge. But as you say, it comes down to people and the mentality that people have towards drones.
Yes. It's a significant invention because it can be used for firefighting or rescue missions, cameras. So like you can put these devices into very dangerous situations and
take human interaction or life out of that particular situation where it can be controlled from a distance.
Completely. I mean, even us, we love television and the film industry.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are being created to be cameras and being put into situations and get footage that you can't get traditionally, where you can't put a cameraman. But obviously, these devices are also being driven by military intention, and they're also putting a lot of people's lives at risk and being used to fight wars without putting soldiers on the front line. And that's where the controversy comes in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's one of those things. Like, what do you? It can provide a lot of good for society, and it can provide a lot of bad.
Yeah.
So where do you stand on something like this?
And I mean, like we're saying, it's increasingly popular, but I think for a lot of people, the idea of drones are still fairly new, especially when it comes to the more complicated
ones.
But
like this technology here, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. This technology is 3D printing, and 3D printing is a good example of technology that can be really exciting. So you can get up there roughly at the moment about 10,000 Rand for a consumer 3D printer that you can keep at home.
Really?
And you can do stuff like 3D print parts for your car or hooks for your clothes that you can put up. If you need a fork, if you need something. But also there's that dark side where people are 3D printing guns.
Wow.
And working guns, and which is adding to that controversy of, like, is this technology a good thing or is it a bad thing? And I sincerely feel that technology in and of itself is not a bad or good thing. It's how we as people use it.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of kids at school that might be watching this, are going to study engineering and the applications of this in the real world. And I think it's up to parents and us as a society to push each other to use this technology for good and keep it out of the hands of people that are going to use it for malicious intention. And look at yourself.
I think parenting is going to take a whole new format. It's going to be very interesting. Grant, thank you so much, man. Talking about drones in the buzz this morning. Tell us what's your opinion on drones. Write to us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. And then what do you think? Where do you think the technology of drones will go? We would love to know. But right now, it's over to Zola in the kitchen. We're continuing with our midweek meals.